Hi, I'm Peter Licourinos, Director at Prospect Estate Agency and your host of Reading Pin. Tuesday the 2nd of May is our next event this year, and it's going to be one of the biggest we've ever had. I'm delighted to invite down Andy Phillips as our main speaker. Hello Andy.
Hiya.
Can you tell everyone please a bit about yourself and what you're going to be talking about?
Yeah, I've been in property since around about 2001, and I've sort of grown my business. I've been sort of dipping in and out of property for all that time, but when I first started I didn't realise what I'd be doing now. I mean, if I actually knew what I was doing now, I would have probably run a mile, to be honest. And it's sort of part of what my talk's about. I'm in a really good position because I work with PIN and PIN Academy.
And all the masterminders.
All the masterminders, and I do a lot of interviews with masterminders. And there's a lot of common denominators of what have made them successful in their time. Because they have a very short run up to this. They have a year to do something really special, and a lot of them just burst through the ceiling and become incredibly successful. And because of the interviews that we do with them, I've sort of got together some ideas of how I can help people when they first start, because I know what it was like when I first started.
It's tough, isn't it?
It was tough. It was lonely. It was tough, and it was scary. I remember my first property I ever bought. I bought my first flat with my wife, and getting another mortgage, and it was really quite daunting. So I understand that there's these transition points that people go through, which is really difficult sometimes, mentally difficult, because this little muscle up here can be your worst enemy sometimes. Yeah. So going through a lot of the interviews with the masterminds and also all the experts that I've spoken to over the years. I mean, I've been working with a lot of property people over the years. In my digital marketing business, I work with lots and lots of them. In fact, probably about 20% of my clients are property people. But I understand some of those transition points can be challenging, and so I've got together some ideas which I think will really help not just people who are starting up, but people who are in this industry and have got to the next transition point, and this little fella is giving them jip because it can do. It's happened to me. It's probably happened to you. Absolutely. As well. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. I'm also going to talk a little bit about how you could really genuinely follow up. Technology is a big thing for me. I mean, my whole world is built around digital marketing and digital technology, and there's something that we've created for our clients, our business clients, which can be used for anybody. So anybody who's at a PIN meeting and they want to follow up on everybody they meet, which is the most important thing in this business, is the follow-up. It's not just like getting a bunch of business cards and going, oh, I'll give them all a call tomorrow. Never happens. So we've got a little piece of technology which is really stupidly simple to use and very cheap, which enables you to follow up absolutely every single person. So I'm going to be showing them that as well. Excellent,
good. And in your experience, Andy, what type of investor is going to benefit from what you've got to say the most, or everyone?
I think that the one that will benefit probably the most to start with are people who are quite new to the business. Yeah. Because sometimes it's a mountain to climb. It looks really impossible to get into it. And also when you go along to your first PIN meeting, for instance, it's a completely different environment. So people sort of feel a little bit like a fish out of water, and it doesn't matter how you try and make them feel at home, which we all do. Everybody in the PIN meetings makes people, especially newbies, feel very welcome. It's still a new business, it's still new people, and networking is quite difficult anyway. Even if you're really experienced at all this, walking into a room full of people you don't know is quite daunting. So it will help a lot of those new people, but it also just helps anybody who's in this business, who's coming toward the next sort of transition point. I've gone through loads and loads of them, and even though I've sort of done refurbs, I've bought and sold, I've got land, I'm a landlord, all that sort of thing, and I'm sort of a serial landlord, as most of us are. Yeah. There comes a point where you get to the next part of the business and you just go, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm really not too happy with this. So it's just getting over those transition points.
And it is obviously, it's all about property, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh definitely. It's all about property. It's focused 100% on property people, because they're the people that we know so well. And that's why where all the masterminders come in, you know, they tell us these different things, and there's some common denominators with all of these people about how they approach those challenges and how they got over them, and now they're incredibly successful.
Brilliant, brilliant. And if we could just end maybe on one tip that you can give the property investors out there, people that are going to be coming to these events?
Perseverance. I mean, it is really, really difficult sometimes when you go. It's like, for instance, going to a PIN meeting. You know, you sort of get dressed up, especially if you're brand new to this. You know, you get dressed up and go to my first PIN meeting. They get in the car and they think, I don't want to do this. Yeah. And it's just going, look, what's the worst that could happen? Yeah, just go. You know, it's like, for instance, if you're trying to find a property deal, and so you've got to go and see, you know, someone like Peter here. Yeah, get off your arse and actually just go. Because what's the worst that can happen? That's everything that I do in my life. I just go, what's the worst that can happen? And you know, if you've ever seen ever read Susan Jeffers' book, Fear the Fear and Do It Anyway, I've read it loads of time. And you know what? Just the title makes me feel better. Feel the fear and do it anyway, because we all have to do that. So it's those transition points and how you get over them.
Brilliant. Andy, thank you very much. I'm Peter Licourinos. I know Andy's been doing this speech up and down the country, and it's gone really, really well. So make sure you come Tuesday the 2nd of May. It's going to be a fantastic event. You'll get to know Andy a little bit better as well. We've also got all the usual things, the lettings update, the investors update, all the local gold mine reports, and lots more. So please make sure you book now, Tuesday the 2nd of May, Reading Pin, Andy Phillips, Peter Licourinos. We look forward to seeing you there. Book now, www.readingpin.co.uk. If it's your first event, like Andy says, make sure you come. It could change your life, and you can come free. Okay, use voucher code PeterGuest, and you can come as my guest completely free of charge and see what Andy's got to say. I'm Peter Licourinos.
I'm Andy Phillips.
We'll see you next Tuesday.